It's an honor to have all of you here today. We're very glad to see so many people come. For the rest of the morning, what we're going to do is look at some ways that we've been working in the KIS project to get research into the hands of communities, into the hands of businesses. And we're going to profile a couple projects we've done, one through our partnership with Queen's Business Consulting, and a second through our partnership with a fourth-year strategy class here at the School of Business, COM 401. And so you're going to hear stories from the businesses, from students who have worked with them, and some research perspectives as well. And what we hope is that for businesses and economic developers, there's a real value in hearing ideas and innovations and best practices that are happening in rural business in our communities. And for researchers too, we hope this spurs you and encourages you to think about where research and community needs intersect and how they can really build off of each other and how research can benefit from working with communities. So I'm going to invite our first panel forward, and we've got several people coming forward from working with the Levack Apiaries project. And so we're glad to have Rob Weisman here and some of our consultants. And I think Mark and Joanne Lauterbach are here from Levack Apiaries. And one of our KIS researchers, Allison Blade Palmer, is here as well. So Rob's going to load up his presentation first. Okay, Rob's going to go without a presentation. And but Rob Weisman is a faculty member here at the School of Business. He runs Queen's Business Consulting, which he'll speak about in a moment. But in addition to his duties here, he is also a real-world practitioner as well. He's the president and managing partner of Marketing Works, marketing consulting agency, and he's also chief operating officer of Vector Media, a media planning and buying company. So he's a really valuable asset to our school and a great mentor to many of our students. So Rob, why don't you introduce the project?
Thank you. Thanks for the kind words. Welcome to the KIS Showcase. I can't do my duty without putting a little bit of a plug around what Queen's Business Consulting is. We've been taking care of business since 1973. Almost 40 years old. We'd like to think we're the premier student-run consulting organization in Canada. Our projects right now range all the way from Victoria, some projects in Florida, but our primary focus is Eastern Ontario and our immediate family. The goals of Queen's Business Consulting are quite simple. There are two parts. One is to provide a real-world experience for students, primarily upper-year undergraduate students, to work in the community and provide value to our clients. And from a client perspective, to actually help businesses solve business problems. Our clients tend to be small to medium-sized companies, all the way from entrepreneurs to small enterprises. And the nature of our work is all the way from marketing audits, market research, business planning, operations research, etc. We're thrilled to be involved with the Monson Center in the KIS project. We've been working on projects now for almost 3 years. I think we've finished approximately 10, if not coming on to 12. And I'd like to introduce Philip and Natasha, who were two of our key consultants over the last term, who worked with Levack Apiaries, and they're here to tell you about their experience and the business that they looked at. Thank you.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Rob, and thank you to Jeff and the Moneyson Center for giving us this opportunity to present to you. My name is Philip Hutton, and I, along with Natasha, were the two consultants assigned to work on the KIS project this past semester, which was specifically the Levack Apiaries and Glengarry Beehive. So the sort of agenda for our presentation will be a brief introduction to Queen's Business Consulting and our project specifically. We'll give an overview of Levack Apiaries and the Glengarry Beehive as two distinct businesses, and then we'll provide analysis and recommendations that we gave to Levack Apiaries and analysis and recommendations for the Glengarry Beehive as well. Then we'll wrap things up with a conclusion, and we'll look forward to any questions you may have afterwards. So, in October 2009, Joanne and Mark Lauterbach reached out to Queen's Business Consulting looking to obtain a fresh perspective on their business. After contacting Joanne and Mark, Natasha and I traveled to Glengarry, Ontario, and learned a little bit more about the companies as well as the people who are running them. Over the course of the semester, we developed a proposal and conducted a broad analysis of the operations of these two companies, and that was compiled into a report and submitted to the clients a couple weeks ago. So, what is Levack Apiaries? Well, it's a family-owned and operated apiary business and has been since 1945. In 2006, the current owners, Joanne and Mark, purchased the company lock stock from her father. It's based in Glengarry, which is near Cornwall, Ontario, and they produce, wholesale, refine, package, distribute, and retail honey and honey-related products. So, in essence, this is a small family-run business which is completely vertically integrated, which is to say, it's a company that's responsible for every stage of production, in some cases, of their honey. Sort of key sources of differentiation are the fact that they only source honey from Eastern Ontario. So it has a reputation for very high quality, but it's also considerably more expensive than the alternatives which are typically imported from places like Argentina and China. Other differentiating factors include the fact that Levack is fully kosher. It's a heritage brand and as a result has long-term and very faithful clientele. So in order to frame our analysis and our recommendations going forward, we conducted a SWOT, which is a sort of analysis looking at internal and external factors that affect the company. So strengths, definitely the unbelievable passion and commitment that Joanne and Mark bring to their two companies is something that's integral to both of them and something that we really value going forward. Opportunities, looking a little more externally, are margins on some other products distinct from honey, including hand cream, as well as the fact that they are a kosher brand and as the local food movement, 100-mile diet, all these sorts of things sort of gain mainstream, we feel like Levack is well positioned in order to really grow as a result. Certain weaknesses we realized in analyzing the company were managing organizational scope. Because time and financial resources are limited, it can be difficult with so many different things vying for Joanne and Mark's time to really be able to focus on providing value and growing their companies effectively. And another thing we discovered for Joanne and Mark, but it's by no means exclusive to them, is objectivity. Just because small businesses are so much a part of their lives, it can be difficult to take a step back, and this is something that we feel not only applies to Levack, but also to small business in general. Threats include the increasing pressure on margins for the company because bees are dying at the moment, and that has compromised internal production. As a result, they've been forced to wholesale more, and since the cost of honey is increasing, that's putting pressure on their margins. And as a result, banks aren't lending as much as they could be to small businesses, so they have to look to alternative ways of financing in order to try and foster and sustain their growth. So our key recommendations for Levack included really focusing on what we thought were key action triggers or things that we wanted to have them focus on, and these included time management, the fact that any recommendations had to be non-capital intensive, the fact that we were aiming to capture higher margins and provide an influx of cash immediately, as well as managing the scope and direction of the business effectively. So specifically for Levack, we suggested that they focus on the success of fewer core product lines that carry with them high margins. We recommended that they focus on value-added activities and in so doing, try to streamline their day-to-day operations so that they can focus their time on things that are really helping to grow the business rather than maintain the business. And also aim to capture more sales at retail, because this is a key way to bring cash in immediately, and it's also a really good way to just grow the available capital for growth for the company. And so in order to do that, that's going to tie into Natasha's part, which features the retail cooperative, the Glengarry Beehive.
Okay, so Glengarry Beehive is another business run by Mark and Joanne. It was established in September 2009, and the main reason for its establishment was to provide sufficient funding for the running of Levack apiaries. The way the business runs is that they have shelves in their store which they give to vendors who come in and sell local produce for the local community. The business model that has been adapted by Glengarry Beehive is they have shelves in their store that they rent out to the vendors, who then pay a monthly rental fee and point of sale. After reviewing this business model, it was realised that the profitability of this can be increased by simply implementing a simple design model. So to the far right is an image of their current shelf space, and to the centre is a revised design model. So as you can see, by dividing the shelves, you'll instantly be able to accommodate 2 vendors, which will maximise the rent received per shelf. And by increasing the width of the shelf, you'll be able to accommodate more products per shelf. In order to maximise the profitability of the business further, we suggest that they reach out to local customers. By increasing awareness of the differentiating qualities of the beehive, they'll be able to, which will be really good, and especially to communicate the local commitment they have to agriculture. They also should aim to increase the revenue per customer, for example, by issuing like samples to their customers. Other areas of key focus is by incorporating keywords in their website, which they're currently developing, by really looking at who their target market is, seeing how they would describe their needs with the business, incorporating these keywords in their business, like for example, tourists. If they had to like go on the website, well, their need in relation to Glengarry Beehive would be that they'd be looking for like gifts for friends and family. So by incorporating these keywords in their website, they'll be able to attract more tourists to their website. They should also consider producing more promotional flyers for distribution and having a consistent local media strategy so they're able to communicate a consistent message to all their target markets. So